Going about that. How you doing? Pretty good.
I didn't say that.
Down on Curwensville Street, so her neighbors are always constantly making a nuisance, call the cops several times, and nothing has been done.
After we meet, we'll try and figure out the address.
We're in the end room down there, on the right, with some folding chairs.
This will be extra.
Okay.
You want to back here? There you go.
Did you sign in this week? There's a sign in sheet, you know, code in there. So the things go to the down for the thing. No, the things to the junk on the box. The one she said, you know, they don't have to drainage on it. It's just so annoying. They're supposed to run it in the morning. It's a little
Curwensville Borough Council will now come to order and stand for the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I guess we are going to go to correspondence, public library donations.
Just for your info, that they requested, it's a budgeted item, we send it every year. Put it in there for your information. And same with that hearing, the public input hearing for the EGI price increases. That's just for information, you guys don't have to vote on it.
Okay.
We just need to read.
Okay, next we will have the Borough Council Committee meeting minutes for 3/28/22.
I make a motion, we accept the committee meeting minutes from March 28, 2022.
I'll second.
Those in favor? Those opposed? Citizens to address council. Do we have anyone that wants to speak?
Here to check on permits, 400 Flemington Avenue and Center Street. Told me to deal with the lawyer, I dealt with her, and she told me to get back to you.
We're gonna talk about that.
Okay. We're going to talk about that in the executive session, so we're not going to discuss that with you right now.
But you're welcome to stay after we come out of the executive session.
And I'll be here.
Showing nowhere it's on property. That's the thing. No one else on want to speak, I guess.
Now, you want to speak about it?
Yeah, I was gonna hand.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you back there.
Okay. I'm hiding. I was trying to hide right for the flag. I got 4 copies of that. It's for component 3. New. So, I think the only thing they offered was paragraph 4. Reports saying
This
we had
you
a
should tell them who you are.
oh yeah, I'm sorry. You don't want to, doesn't he?
Oh, no.
I'm Dallas Suzuki. I got work for Showbar's place. I'm trying to put a sewer line, component 3. It's K. Walker's old estate, which was Scarpelli. Scarpelli's onto a sewer line. So, and the way it read was they wanted me to be responsible for the sewer line, which since private line I'm already responsible, but they were demanding I do it pretty quickly. But you got no problem up to a point, price point. And then after that I would put in a plan, and it's in paragraph 4. Or you just can finance it and do it right away and then I'll just make payments. But I'm sure you just don't want that. But the benefit is the trailer will stay there and Tash Avenue. So want to read before, you can do that real quick too. Just stating up to $2,000, I can do it fairly quickly, and after that I submit a plan, and I would show a subline for the, if something happened that I would put a temporary line in, and you can sort of go into the system some other way.
You do a planning module?
That's what this is part of the planning module, but the,
Okay, that's through DEP.
and he told me to do the amendment here. My engineer, Curry and Associates. So this is like mutually agreed upon, and I need it signed off on, and then I'm going to give it back to Curry and Associates. Ron's doing it. And
Why
we did
would
the
the
original
municipal
one.
authority sign off on it? They're the ones that manage and govern the city. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we know.
You can't sign off on that. That's
No, we know.
Yeah, that would be municipal.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah, just gonna link their meetings to them.
Tomorrow,
Same time.
you know,
Yeah. Over in the office.
their office is over behind Ronnie Bullets.
Yeah, I know where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, the borough can't do nothing with that.
They're in charge of everything for the borough.
That's the, yeah, they govern the city stuff. Well, DEP does, they just follow up, I guess.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Go see them.
That was pretty quick, Raj. You shot me down right away. So I'd prolong it. But thank you for your time and your energy, guys.
Oh, yes, you're welcome.
Oh, yeah, whoever's doing these floors doing a great job.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
You're welcome. We need to vote on the comprehensive rate.
No, without
Executive. That's it. Are you gonna take that in the executive session? Okay, we're gonna have an executive session now.
Make a motion to go into executive session.
I'll second that.
Okay. Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
We were at a meeting, Alan, and you asked for, what did you ask for in a meeting on the 14th of March?
Building permit.
Building permit for, and you specified which buildings that you were seeking a permit.
Yes.
And that was for,
400 Bloomington Avenue and 628 Center Street.
okay. And how did you feel when they didn't issue a permit that evening?
Violated.
Okay. You want to tell us what you're wanting to do with the properties?
Fix them up and get them up to snuff and rent them out or live in them.
Okay. And that's just 2 properties that you own?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you owned the properties?
400 Bloomington Avenue, I've had it since 2014, and 628 Center Street, I'm not sure, probably 6 years.
Okay. And Mr. Rolls Matthew, you own properties in Curwensville, don't you?
Yes.
And are you being denied permits also?
Yes, I am.
And how do you feel about that?
Violated and bullied and prejudiced against. There's multiple other properties in town that are worse shape than what I have, and they don't seem to be doing anything about them.
Okay. And you have all the preliminary things done to get a permit. You sent requests for permits?
Yeah, I sent certified requests for permits. And
what is these remediation requests that they want? They want a plan for remediation. What does that entail?
They just want to know what I'm going to do with the property and estimates of what it's going to cost to fix them up and and I've made 2 or 3 of them up, and they've denied me on my request. And
Did they specifically tell you what issues in your remediation plan that they were denying?
no, they just said it was denied. No explanation why.
No explanation in detail. Did they give you
Well, one was they was wanting a contractor's estimate,
okay.
and then the magistrate said I didn't need a contractor's estimate, I could do it myself, and it was still denied.
Wow. What do you think should be done to get a permit? What do you think could be done to get a permit?
Yeah, I should be able just to walk in and ask for one, but probably gonna have to get a lawyer and ask the request of a lawyer to get the permit.
Where are we standing?
We're staying on Baylor Drive in Curwensville, next to an empty property that's been sitting empty for about 15, 20 years.
Okay.
This property owner hasn't had no permits or no legal action taken against him.
And nobody lives here, and the property's behind you.
Yeah, they're dilapidated, the windows are missing, the basement doors are missing. Anyone could just walk in anytime they want and get hurt or squat.
Do you have any other thoughts that the people of Curwensville should know in regard to properties that you own? How many properties do you own in Curwensville Borough?
I believe it's 13 I own in the borough, and I have 6 that they're trying to take from me or make me demolition. I got about...
Have you been served with any demolition or declarations of taking?
Not at this time, no. At one property I did have a demolition request on it that they sent me, but...
No legal action in the court of common pleas?
No.
Anything else that you would like to explain to the people in Curwensville?
I got about $230,000 wrapped up in all these properties, and possibly could be losing them all from the borough taking them from me and not having to give me any money for them. So essentially, they're stealing $230,000 from me and not letting me do anything with them to fix them up. Or
Alan, do you have anything else you'd like to say? I think you were very calm in the council meeting. You didn't disturb anybody or get angry. You were tired that night, you told me.
Yeah.
You had to work hard that day.
Yeah, I just don't think it's right that they're just seem like they're picking on us and these other people. That it just seems like we're their #1 target for some reason.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, would someone like to make a motion for the permit for home rolls for his property on 628?
Make a motion to deny it and give the one
I'll second that motion.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? 600 property.
Make a motion to deny that with the letter explaining why.
I'll second it.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. We will be denying your permit, and you will receive a letter of the problems that go with that.
I fix some problems and I can get a permit, or what's going on?
You've been denied the permit,
And be instructed, you know.
and you'll be
There'll be
instructed.
instructions in
There'll be
the
instructions
letter.
on your letter.
You know them here, tell me what they are.
The denial is going to be based on a statute. It also deals with tax delinquencies and various items that will need to be corrected. You'll have to have a letter stating certain things are complied with, and all of that will be in the denial letter. It's not just a code violation, it also has to do with delinquencies as far as taxes, sewage, and water bills on any property that you own from the state of Pennsylvania.
I paid that, it's got sewage, it's got water.
It's not property specific.
I just put a sewage, you forced me to put a sewage in there, $5,000 job, I didn't need no permit for that. Forced me to do it, now, that was all right. Spent $5,000 on that.
And when you get the letter, I can't speak to that, I wasn't part of that. When you get the letter, you'll see the reasons for the denial. If you're not in agreement with them, it'll also tell you how you need to appeal.
That tells me nothing there, that tells me nothing.
I understand, but we are required to give you a formal written notice that will outline everything so you can see it.
Do I get an option to fix that stuff, or is it going down the drain?
Again, some of the denials will be based on tax delinquencies. You would need to bring properties up to current, and you would have to have a certification saying that you've done that on your taxes.
Is that the only problem with taxes?
There's taxes, there's delinquencies on other properties as well. So that would be the first step.
You mean I gotta pay the taxes on everything for one house?
The way the statute is written, if you owe any tax delinquencies on any
Who
property.
wrote this statute? Who wrote this statute?
The state legislature.
This is bullshit.
It's not a borough ordinance, it's the state that
It's
says that.
bullshit, that's what it is.
I can understand your feelings on
You
that.
people took an oath in office to help us, not to take us out. What about all these other properties? What about Newkirk? Don't see anybody taking her out. Black Lives Matter?
Excuse me?
You heard me.
You want to hear me?
You hear me.
Don't bring it up again.
Oh,
I don't even want to hear it.
That's enough, both of you.
You want to go outside? We'll settle right there. You want to go out there?
And waste my time.
Yeah. You people were sick. You're puke. What did we ever do to you people that you're out to take us out? Lived in this town. This boy's grown up in this town. Here, Tom Carkley, he tells my boy, this here lady, she's out to take him out. What did we ever do to you?
Really?
No. Really?
I know better than that.
Right there's your witness, buddy. Right there's the witness. What, the Carkley cartel, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do you call this? You're not after nobody else.
Yes, we are. We are. Not you, Alan.
Who else is getting fines and
We're
stuff?
getting fined. It's not just you.
Who else is it?
It's 6 other people. So don't sit there and tell me just because of you. I'm tired of hearing it.
Well, like you say, you can go outside too. I'll make
Oh,
that.
come on. This is ridiculous.
We'll see what the Department of Garbage can do.
This
Yeah.
discussion is over, sir.
Got rules here, got rules. My own name there trying to take me out.
You've had your 3 minutes.
I'll stay here for a half hour, I'll stay here all night if I want to. Who's gonna throw me out?
I'll call a call.
Call him.
Don't matter to me.
Call
You know
him.
something? I've just been in the mayor's for over a year. I've been on this, and they've been fighting with you guys for over a year about fixing your properties. They've
Well, here we
given
got
you
some money.
permits, They've given you permits, you've done nothing.
Don't have no
And
money,
then
but always
you
got
plan
money
on
to do
us.
something.
So we should just say,
Who else
okay,
you going
let it go.
after? All these other, I got a list of 25 people.
Right there, when I first joined, there was 25 properties at the meeting
Look at
that
your
I
brother's
come to you
house
and
over
spoke
there.
to you. And I've told all these people, if he's in violation, fine him. He's no better
There's
than
your
anyone
brother's
else.
place over there.
There's
Anyway, all
15
now.
properties out of the 25 since I've been in here that have addressed the issues.
you're-
You didn't. And you think it's our fault?
Oh,
Are you kidding me? So you're telling me these 15 people are lying?
We're not allowed to fix them.
no, no, it's excellent. You're not
You
fix them.
name it.
Give us
Don't
a
throw
permit.
me in this cartel stuff.
Well, you're not a car flea, but you might as well be.
Oh, you are so far out of touch.
You people are
You-
puke. You people are puke.
You're a slum.
You're a slum.
Admit
That's
it.
enough.
Go ahead, one.
Are they down the hall?
You're scum.
You're an idiot.
You're scum.
Okay.
Go outside, buddy. I'll tell you
Oh,
who
I'm
you
so
are.
scared.
Step out.
Okay, guys, that's enough. We want to continue with our meeting.
Like I say, I'll be back.
We'll be here.
Is Act 45 involved in this? Is Act 45 involved in, as a statute of 2009?
It's Act 90 of 2000.
Act 90, thank you.
Sean Miller property.
We don't
let that one.
That's gonna be a review on a vacant property.
Okay, we have a discussion on the rescind the donation vote.
I didn't give you copies actually of these meetings, but I did email it to everybody if they wanted to get a chance. Basically, it just gives me, move forward on starting the company. So Sarah just needs to sign it and send it back, but I did, got us an email, get a chance to look it over, it's just.
You don't really vote on it.
No, you don't need to vote on it, because you've already voted to. Yeah, it's gonna redo that comprehensive plan. So, when you get a chance, it's the short form, I call it, but it's 18 pages long.
Okay,
Again, just for info, Dave, keep up to date on what they're doing.
okay, we're gonna talk about rescinding the donation vote. Someone had a problem with that.
Yes, I'd like to send that to you. Use the fact that we're using taxpayers' money for entity outside of our area. And it's usually the work on the donations. It's usually discussion last week in December, if there's more in the budget for that.
Someone wanna put that to a
Heather,
vote?
are we allowed to donate to other entities like that?
I don't know anything about it. I need a little more
We
information.
donated $100 to Child Advocacy Center.
Center, which is controlled by Sinclair. If I am correct.
At the
The
last
Child Advocacy Center would
No,
serve
it's
Clearfield
not.
County,
Correct.
if that's what it does. You can't make donations to an organization that serves within your municipality. Children Advocacy would be one that goes.
Because it's in the whole county.
Yeah.
We aren't legally allowed to do it.
And I think some talk had been also that maybe we just, among ourselves, make a private donation, if we would like to do that. Rather than use the village tax money.
Well, we have children in this town with that benefit, right?
Oh,
I mean,
they've done a lot. Mary, she's done a lot with our officers and helping us with the grants. And
I mean, if it's legal, you know.
there has been a few cases for children that the police have been dealing with this year, and she has helped them out a lot with it. They do a lot for us, for Curwensville Borough, and children in general, with everything they do.
I personally think we should still go forward with the donation.
So I'm just let it out of the site. There's no
Someone's gonna motion to rescind it, he's gonna wait for a second, if you don't get a second, then it dies, and we save Sam. Somebody will second it.
All right, let's second it then.
Yeah, good.
Okay. Okay, we'll go to monthly reports. Jim?
Okay, you guys all have a copy of what they've done in the last month. Of course, you can tell some things are down. We were without the car for a week and 2 days. We were struggling getting the proper headlight, and we were out using
You want to
them.
go out with her? You don't know if he's out there or not.
Oh,
I'll go out there and see if he's where he's at.
okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, they were just running the new vehicle without lights or anything on. They were not doing traffic stops, and they were just answering 911 calls. So, as you can see, some things are down there. I have a quote from Full Throttle Enterprises from Bigler Avenue for $1,450. That is for the detailing and lettering of the new car. He did have one other quote. He checked on it, it was $3,500. Now, Full Throttle here on Bigler Avenue, that's who does Lawrence Township's Curwensville Borough. So I would need council.
How much is it?
$1,450, Full Throttle Enterprises, they're out of Clearfield. And
That's detailing?
Details, yes. Getting it, from the police. It's a one-day job. He's ready, whenever we give him the okay, we said within 2 weeks.
I think we figured all that stuff. In the bid, well, with the price, that's what we kept for the vehicle.
Well, it wasn't included in the quotes, you do need to vote on it, but.
I know, but I mean.
But there's money for that.
The money's there, yeah. Well, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the bid from Full Throttle Enterprises in Clearfield to do the decals on the new police vehicle.
I'll second it.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
Okay, and then, I met with Mark, and the laptop they have is 10 years old, and they're starting to have trouble with it, shutting off, not booting up. And what they use it for, guys, is when they go to a hearing, with the video evidence, that's what they use it for. Now, he got us a price from Curry Services for $1,299.99, but we do get a $500 grant from North Central DCED, Barry Mays, for $500. All we have to do is, if we pay for this, send him a copy of the check, and he'll send us a check for $500. Mark talked to Barry, I did talk to Barry myself too, to make sure that that's all that needs to be done. The computer's 10 years old. Keith, you know more about computers than I do. If you want to take a look, I don't know what all that means as far as the side.
It does.
But we,
Actually, I have, getting a new computer, I have that laptop there if Mark wants it.
how old is it?
It's 3 years old, 2.5 years old, so it's not old. It's a good computer.
Just want to go with that?
Or it's up to you guys. If Mark would rather have a new one, that's entirely up
I
to
was
you.
just looking at, a brand new one for $700.
Right.
You know,
That-
for
that's
$12.99 and then
entirely up to you
$500 back.
We could keep the old one that you're getting rid of for a backup possibly for.
Use it for something else.
Yeah, use it.
You know,
Just
use-
just a straight true.
They need one. They're not as techy as the police, but they do
Then they
need
could
one.
take that one then.
Yeah, they can, yeah, so either way, but it's, I've got my new one coming, so.
But whatever, you know.
I want to make a motion then to go ahead with the Curry Associates for a new laptop for the police for, I believe you said $1,299.99.
Correct.
And you're gonna get we're gonna get a $500 grant.
Correct.
It's Curry.
Curry Technology Services.
Technology.
Yeah, Curry Technology Services.
Yeah.
Yes, Adam, yes.
I'll second that.
Those in favor?
Oh, did you?
Aye.
Oh,
No, I wasn't going to. I'm soaking it all in here.
I wasn't paying attention.
Okay, Ron.
Okay, now, as you all know, Bigler Township now has their regional police department. We have gone there, and he had came here last week. And what I'm getting into is, here I have a copy of the police agreement. It's basically a mutual aid agreement we have with Curwensville Borough and Lawrence Township that was signed in 2016. This might be something we better ask Heather, but I'm sure we should get an agreement with Bigler Township for us going up there. I mean, here's the one that is from Clearfield and Lawrence Township, signed by Doug Bloom back then. And I just, it covers us, guys. Basically, you can all read this in a nutshell. I just say this: if Mark and them get called up there, Quentin, Zach, or wherever, and they're on a search and they find a guy, they have the power to arrest them. There is insurance on the guys up there from the municipality that they're going to. You guys, you can check with Heather to see if it is necessary, but I really think since we have one Clearfield Borough and Lawrence Township, it is something that we should consider checking into.
Somewhere around the table for discussion.
Yes,
basically.
yeah, but just so you know,
Moment.
but like I said, Zach went up there last 2 Friday nights ago when he had people run from him. See, what it is, Davis, we'll be going up to Kellytown, down in the bigger town, Madera, down on that side is what we would be doing. And then when they have...
We want to go that far.
Well, it says in here that the
Yeah.
police officer has the right, to not go. That's not-
Well, I just, I'm not against it.
Right.
I just didn't know how far.
Because
They
there,
need help.
when there was a call at Chidley's there for the, last week, no policeman wrote, Clearfield Borough was tied up, Lawrence Township was tied up, the state was tied up. Draw came the whole way from Bigler Township there. It's just the way it is. And I really think that we should have an agreement with them also. Yeah, that's something we'll just, it's just for a discussion, and we can talk about it further.
Okay.
Okay? Then on the police, I have one more thing. I know Mark has talked a little bit with Sarah about this, and he has talked to me. And what this is, guys, it's a class, and it's basically to help the officers deal with psychological emergencies, mental issues. And just so you guys know, I talked to Mark, and so far this year, our guys have dealt with 11 of them. And what this is, it's 5 days, but it's June 30th, July 7, 14, 21, and 28. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. The only thing we would have in it, I would have those guys scheduled to work that day. We wouldn't have, that way we're not paying any overtime or anything for it. I've read it, and I highly recommend that we send these guys to this. Just like Mark and I were talking, heaven forbid they have to shoot somebody that's having a psychological emergency. And they ask, what kind of training did you have? Well, none. Well, here, come to back off. They had a chance to go to pre-training, and we didn't let them go. I don't have to have an answer for this till the 1st of June if you want to think about it. But I personally, I think, Sarah, you felt that it was something the guys should take too.
I think they should. I definitely do.
So they're gonna be all the officers, right?
Yeah, all 3 of them will go, yes.
Even resource officer.
No, this will just be Zach, and because Bruce does everything, his is through the school.
So Bruce is already taking some of
Yeah,
that
he's
class.
good. I did talk to Bruce too. So this would just be Quentin, Zach, and Martin.
I'll make a motion that we send our officers to
It's in Du Bois, I'm sorry, too. It's in Du Bois, I'm sorry. They're not traveling.
Right Turn Crisis and Intervention Team.
I'll second that.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
And as it comes closer to, I'll remind you guys at the meeting. Okay, then under the mayor, I had a lady call me from Irwin Hill. She would like to start a borough, I call it a cleanup crew like they do with the state on the state roads, but she only wants to do Curwensville Borough, the borough streets. Now, I'm sure there's probably some kind of legal thing we gotta make sure for coverage or whatever, so could someone ask Heather if there's something special we need to do as a borough to have her do this?
Does she want to like adopt a street, like they do?
She wants to do the whole borough.
She
And
wants
she's
to, she wants to adopt the borough.
Right, and what she wants to do, she's gonna contact different, groups in the town to see if she can get any help with that. But I know, because I'm pretty sure when they want to do it with the, along the state roads, they have to go to a class or something.
Yeah, I saw a couple down there last week picking up.
So I don't know, I mean, is that something we could ask Heather? Is there a legal thing that we need to worry about on that?
I don't know.
It might be a security thing,
Yeah.
you know, like, door-to-door salesman have to have a
I
solicitation
think it would be a good thing.
for safety's sake.
She's really interested, but she wants to make sure that it's done the right way, the legal way, so I don't know if we could have Terry or yourself, someone reach out to Heather to see if there's anything we need to do there. Is it all right, you guys, if she does pursue that, I mean, have we got someone that wants to
Yeah.
take care of the borough streets for us?
Good thing.
I brought this up before, and I'm gonna bring it up again. I really, really, really think it's time that we consider, having a police chief in our town. I told you before, I really feel Mark deserves it. He guides these guys. He's the one that's training these young fellas. I think he went above and beyond and proved himself to us. And I did a little, I got the contracts out and checked the numbers and stuff, and money-wise, it's about $2,900 a year. I do understand that, you know, you have to look at retirement and all, you know, that issues, but, I just think it's time that our town has an actual police chief, and I really feel that Mark is the man to do it. And,
Well, most police forces do have a police,
Sure.
police.
correct.
Yeah,
I don't,
I mean, we could have a police committee meeting and talking, I mean, you know. You know, you and I and Keith, yeah, we can get that.
I just, I mean, $2,900 and whatever, but I don't know how much it can be more than maybe another $1,000 for everything else. I mean, are we in that dire straits that we keep saying that it's the money situation is why we can't promote more? Is there something else that?
The budget, and we, you know, we're using free money for a lot of things. You know, so, but yeah, I mean, we just have to look at the budget and I'm all for talking about it, you know.
You know, some of that I thought was personnel issue, wasn't
Before?
it? Beforehand.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I guess with the police committee, we discussed all that number and recommendations to the next meeting. After we have
Thank you.
the committee.
Sure, yeah, I mean,
Okay, unless anybody has anything for me, that's all I have.
I have one thing.
Yes,
So I remember I asked you about the lady who's down here on that street. It's a duplex house they live in, both sides, and she lives on the left-hand side. She said the neighbors at night, she's trying, she gets in, she wants to go to bed. They party or night, whatever they do all night. It's right next to that house, is that big white house there, and it's that duplex right there.
well, she needs to call the
She
landlord.
she called the landlord won't do anything. She's also called the cops on the people several times.
right, but if they're just loud, I mean, you just go in and neglect, you know.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Give me an address, Rob.
Okay,
I will speak to Mark and Zach and Quentin and see if they have been there and what the whole situation is. But
Okay.
yes, give me an address and I will pursue that for you.
Okay.
Anything else? Anything else, guys?
Comment.
Animal control?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Justin,
Yep, so I had 3 calls last month, and you see the details there on them. With that brought up, there was a dog bite incident, so I'm wondering about getting a dog bowl, just in case something like that happens again. The dog was taken to the SPCA. SPCA had an issue with the way that myself and the police department handled the situation, because the proper paperwork was not done, and the dog was never officially released to either mine or the police department's custody. So the SPCA is all upset about it. So, yeah. And the other thing is, I was just wondering about maybe setting up a like Facebook page or something, because when I have lost dogs or cats, it seems like that's a little bit easier to get out there and help find their homes, rather than trying to knock on doors and, you know, figure out whose dog it actually is or cat it is.
Yeah, I can do that for you, Justin.
Okay.
Justin, when you say that the SPCA is unhappy with how it was handled, what are we doing, what are we supposed to do?
So they are supposed to, the owner of the dog, because dogs and cats are considered possessions, they are supposed to release possession of the dog to the SPCA. Now, the problem is the dog bit, attacked an 8-year-old girl. She had a 6-inch gash down her face, and it also attacked another dog. And the officer, Zach, didn't feel comfortable with the dog staying in the house. The dog is supposed to be quarantined for 10 days in the home. SPCA's problem is that they generally charge to take an animal like that because it's considered a dangerous dog. And it actually falls on the homeowner or the owner of the dog to take it to the vet and have it taken care of. So they wanted me to come in with a signed release stating that the dog was released from her and going to the SPCA. And that's what they were upset about. And they were upset that they couldn't euthanize the dog right away. They had to wait 10 days for state protocol before they could do anything with the dog. And they tried contacting the lady, or the owner of the dog, and she didn't want the dog euthanized. She didn't want to turn over custody of the dog. So it became a big battle between the two of them.
So in a nutshell, what they're telling you is, and our officer is, if, even though that dog has been a little kid, if they don't want to let you take it,
yeah,
they can't take it.
Exactly.
Now, are they going to provide you with a form that's already pre-made? So
Yes.
that they do release it?
Yes.
You have
Yep.
that done?
Yep.
Okay.
So.
You had mentioned a poll, dog poll. Did you price one?
No, not yet. I was just wanting to come to you and see about that, but I haven't looked at prices of them
I
yet.
can order them. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you gotta handle
Yeah.
a wild dog, well, you should have.
If it's reasonable, I mean, if it's like billions of dollars,
Right.
obviously not, but I'm sure.
But, you know, gold and diamond studded would be
Oh,
fine.
monogram.
Yes.
Justin, have you heard complaints on cats around the library up by the school?
Not until today.
Okay.
Not until today, and I've already, I got her address and everything, and I'm gonna be going there probably tomorrow to talk with her, and, you know, and if, I mean, it's, we have ordinances that they have to be taken care of, and clearly they're not, so, you know, I'm gonna give her a choice to either she takes care of them or I'm gonna take care of them. So, yep.
Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Code enforcement, Tom?
Yeah, my report to the board. We had 8 land use permits we issued. I did 3 landlords submitted rental registrations. And of course, you got the list. Last month was a busy month. For everybody that was ticketed here, what I do first is we hang a hanger on the door telling them the violation and everything. And then we give them 10 days to 14 days. If they don't clean it up or do what has to be done, then we send out a ticket. We have a ticket of our own that we can send out and find people. It don't even have to go to the magistrate. I mean, it's a ticket thing we set up on our own, which is legal. I've already checked with Mike. So if they don't clean up after the 14 days they're given, then I cite them a ticket, which could be anywhere from, our new one, what, $100 to $1,000. It'd be fine.
Are most people seem to be taking care of them?
No.
Or you're gonna have to start doing the ticket?
Yeah. So far the tickets that I've hung, there's been nothing done on any of them.
Have you found anything out about these cars that they've been putting around the borough?
It's on the list, they all get ticketed.
Yeah,
If they're not, I have to go to the police first, and usually when I'm going out and run the tag, because the tag has to be running. If the car is inspected and got a registration up to date, there ain't nothing I can do about it.
Right.
They usually mark the equipment when I'm running the license or something. And if it's sitting there with no registration, then it's tagged. Then they got so many days to get rid of it. If they don't get rid of it, usually we call no lease. Or we tell them, you know, nobody will come get it. You ain't got no way to haul it, nobody will come up here and pick it up. And take it, and you'll get, you know, you get money for it. And he charges you for picking it up. Yeah, last month was a busy month. And I think it's gonna get a little busier. And we gotta do something about tires. Me riding around, I've never seen more tires sitting around people's yards. You know, and I think there's, if I'm not mistaken, there's a state law against tires laying out there and collecting water with this mosquito thing that was going around. I mean, I think you can have them if they're covered. They have to be covered in plastic. But you wouldn't believe the tires just sitting around this town. I mean, hundreds of them, just laying out the yard. Walk across from your dad up there, there's gotta be 20 there at that screwdriver off of it.
So I had a guy ask me about the Baylor property over there.
Yeah, I think.
The fire company is going to use it for training, and then once they're done with it, it will be removed, all of the buildings will be removed.
For the guys that have the camp, down there, the police was asking me, so I got a meeting with them, I'll check.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
The fire company's gonna do whatever they do.
Do you have any questions?
No, thanks.
Okay, moving on here, parks and recreation, Harriet.
Okay, Robbie went to the Curwensville Days Committee meeting, and they had some questions and stuff about the parking lot and the street that we, you know, are having paved. But I said we have to kind of wait till those things come to fruition to see, you know, how we'll line up the parking lot. I mean, not that we're making lines, but I mean, you know, flow of traffic and things like that. We thought maybe we'd have a little something ceremony for the 100th anniversary. I think we're going to kind of wait till we get the new stone. And Sarah and I talked to them last week, and they said they have some stones coming in, and when they get them in, they'll call us, and we can pick one. So anyone who wants to go up and look at stones for our entrance, you're welcome to do so. So I don't know how long that will take, you know, how things are today. So, and pavilion number 1 is, you know, going to be fixed and worked on. Kind of in the same frame, talking about the park, I guess it'd be okay, Sarah, I'm going to sort of skip ahead for a little bit of finance. The committee met last week, the finance committee, and we looked at a variety of grants that are available, and ones that we might like to apply for in the near future. And one of them is a Greenways Trails grant, and deals predominantly, excuse me, with the village, with the parks. Okay, so we thought we'd like to have Eads look into that for us to, replace, pavilion number 2, and, Denny has told us that we need to get new roofs on the 2 small pavilions, and also, I guess, the bathroom now needs a new roof. So maybe that would be, you know, kind of see where the money is in there. It's a $250,000 grant, but it's a 15% match. So, some of the figuring on that, in the ballpark, I think if we could get it down to, I believe around $150,000, then we'd be in with that $25,000 that we budgeted this year for parks, you know. So, but, I'd like to, I guess, make a motion that we have Eads look into this Greenways Trails grant, because it is due at the end of next month. And if Eads does that, then they'll have to get we'll have to do a resolution by the 1st of next month, correct? Our first meeting next month. So I'm making a motion to go ahead.
Are you gonna do like a prioritize, like gonna do the pavilion first, then the roofs, in case we only get a certain amount of money or something? You know,
Right, I think that's how
just
I would
prioritize
think.
what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
How bad the roofs are.
Yeah, right, yeah. I don't know what's going on with the bathroom. I didn't have a chance to talk together today, but.
Remember we had kicked around a little bit about moving the bathrooms up to that one pavilion.
Yeah, we had talked
you
about
know.
that. Yeah, so,
Would you consider metal roofs?
Yeah, and that, excuse me, yes, that is the plan.
You're gonna use metal.
Go with metal roofs, and I guess that's cheaper and easier to do, hopefully, so. But like I said, I'm making a motion that we have Eads check into the Greenways Trails grants for some, things that we would like over the park.
So you said that we want to be in the $150,000 range, so that way we can budget the $25,000 you said that we have for the year.
Yes.
So with Pavilion 1 being done, how much of a grant are we getting for that? Did you say?
What?
Not for one was the one they were paying out of what's that called?
Repaying
for that.
Yeah.
There's no grant.
For 2, the other pavilion, that's where she's talking about the grant
We'd
for
like
that.
to fix that if we can get a grant.
Yeah.
But how much money was going towards the pavilion that's being fixed now by D.L. Anthony contracting?
$79,000, I think. Yeah, that's what it's.
And is any of that money that you budgeted going towards that already?
Yeah.
25,000 for this year, and then now she's saying if we do 25,000 again next year,
Okay, next year.
cover
Okay.
roughly a percentage of what the 250 would be.
Okay.
I'll second
Yeah, any other questions or comments about it before?
I got another question too. I was at that meeting, and the lady that's in charge asked if we could close the restroom altogether. They didn't want to be liable for something.
We do anyhow, don't we?
Well, no, that whole week, they wanted that, they just want to use porta potties.
When we went to their last meeting, Dave,
Right.
we had considered leaving it open on Saturday because of the amount of people that will be there with the high school bands and stuff. We had kicked that around a little bit.
Okay.
That's why they're asking.
Yeah, and they wanted that because they're gonna use the porta potties where they're gonna put them at. And they just wanted us to lock that so they wouldn't have to, if somebody did go in there and damage it, they wouldn't be held responsible.
Okay.
Okay, getting back to the vote.
Oh,
Was it second?
Yeah, they said.
Those in favor?
aye.
Those opposed?
Me.
Is that it? No, I was asking Harriet if she was
I
finished with
think-
the part.
Just one more thing. Terry, yes, Terry said, she had checked with, Eads, and he's gonna check with DEP
About the dam.
about the dam at the park. So, and we had discussed it in our meeting, our finance meeting as well, you know, in grants and things of that sort, so now I'm finished now.
Okay. Okay, Dave, you're next.
drainage for Locust Street up to approximately Mill Street. And what the issue is, the old Locust Street School has some water issues, and, instead of pumping the water, it used to just pump out and get out through the people's houses. So the new owner wants to fix everything right. So if we can run, and I talked to Denny, he got prices, run pipe from the culvert that is down towards the bottom of Locust Street and State. Just run it up, and I'm not 200 feet, and set a catch box near the Locust Street School. They already ran a pipe, and they deadheaded it until we get a culvert and everything in, then they'll plumb it right into it. That way the water won't be running down Locust Street freezing. I also would like to, mention when the guys can do that, if we do it, and when it's done, when they have a paving company do the ditch line, to patch it from the culvert down to the other one. The bottom of Locust Street has a hole that they can't keep filled. They put cold patch in it and put Portland cement and everything, trying to stiffen it up and get it, and it won't stay. So maybe just do that little area patching, so, which we still have liquid fuels, right, Terry?
Yeah.
So we can use money out of that, so I'd recommend that we, get the pipe. The pipe is $2,960, and you know what? I think the basin's on there.
Yeah, it is. The basin.
That's with the basin and the grate. So the total for the pipe and the equipment would be $2,960. There would be some stone, whatever he doesn't have, he may have to. And, you know what, I'm sorry, that's it. So I'd like to make a motion that we buy the culvert and the pipe and have the borough guys run that up the machine.
We have two.
Yeah, that's what mixed me up. That one, he should have just put it all on one.
Oh, gotcha.
No, the second one
Oh.
is North Street at the other end of town,
Oh, okay.
behind Beard's Funeral Home there.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's just, they want to put a little bit of pipe in there, because
The
resident cars are
when you
running.
drive behind like you,
Okay.
there's that ditch, and we're gonna put a pipe and fill it in, so it's not so bad
Gotcha.
for the people who live up.
Our guys are doing it.
Yes, sir.
Dave, can I say something?
Yeah.
When that happened up there, I was called out on that. That wasn't regular
Oh, it was
white
sewage.
water, that was sewage.
Yeah, it
That
was.
was running down there.
It was, but they used to just pump it out and it run down across
So
the
did they,
water.
did they replace the store line?
Yes, they did, whole new sewer line again. Yeah, and they're running that other pipe for the, whoever bought it,
Yeah.
doing stuff
Okay,
with
that's
it.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause the night I was called up there, he was pumping sewage.
Yeah, he didn't realize that's what it was when he was doing it.
That parking lot full, doesn't it?
It was a mess.
And the houses below it too,
Oh, yeah.
in their basements.
Oh, so he's cleaned it all up, fixed it all, so DEP was happy.
I'll second your motion, Dave.
Yep.
Drainage materials for Locust Street. We put North Street.
And the
North
one on
Street.
North Street, I forgot, yeah.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
And then also,
Okay, go ahead.
speed limit sign. 12, 25 mile per hour sign, 12, 10 the post, and then the post most bases. It comes to $976. Sean from PennDOT took that acre, they went around and picked out the areas that we need speed limit signs. And that's the order. So,
Are these gonna be any spares, or is that it?
It's at bare minimum.
I think there's a couple spares.
Couple spares,
Because they needed
maybe.
a couple on Meadow and a couple on Schofield.
Correct. And that's in scope.
And one, and a couple on Windy Hill.
yeah.
So, but that'll leave them a few stairs.
Okay.
Because
Because I think
Yeah.
Schofield Street Extension needs some also.
I think that's where they're going.
Oh, yeah.
Right, the Meadow Street was
Yeah.
one of the street to go first,
Meadow
because that's when that fella came in and talked.
Yeah, you gotta have the signs.
Yeah, it's gotta be legit, that's how we do it.
But so when everything's placed, we'll still have a couple extra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they usually, no, they do, they usually have some signs down there if they need them, like an emergency.
So if we're in or whatever.
Yes,
Snow pockets or something.
so I'd like to make a motion to buy the speed limit signs for a price of $976.13 from Radco Supply in Toronto, PA.
I second it.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
And the only van is being held up by PennDOT. That's all I have.
I seen in the email that you had sent out that, the engineers from Snappy's had backed out.
Yeah.
Does that put us back to zero again?
No,
or-
he's just gonna step in. Our engineers, they were asked to step in and pick up because Mr. Levine wasn't having any luck with PennDOT. And I sent you guys along the
Right.
paperwork,
Yeah.
a lot of red pen on their plans. And that's been throughout, like for the last year, it's just been a back and forth.
With these taking over, they pay the bill, we don't pay for that, right?
Right, JJ Powell will pay you,
And if he's just gonna do
but
the.
he's just gonna do the engineering to get it going, get it started. They just feel because he's a bigger company, they're more equipped to handle what needs done there, dealing with PennDOT and, so. Hopefully, soon.
That it?
That's all I have.
Okay, Keith, you're up.
Fire company had 23 calls in the month of March. I'll give you a rundown through that. 4 motor vehicle accidents, 4 medical assists, 4 trees down, 3 service calls, 2 structure fires, 2 outside fires, 2 electrical hazards, 1 seal alarm, and 1 automatic fire. I noticed on their Facebook page that they also were assisting the kayak race, I believe, over the weekend, assisting
Yeah.
whoever's holding that race, so if there was any issues, they're there to help with the high water. So, as always, they're doing outstanding service and staying ahead.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
That's all.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay. Back to you, Harriet.
Last 2 pages are mine. Here's the account balances of different accounts that we have. And, on the last page, then, those are the March bills, and I checked them over, and everything seems, in order. So I'd like to make a motion that we pay, the March 2022 bills.
I'll second that.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, does anybody have anything else they want to discuss tonight?
There is a high school student that wants to do a job shadowing possibly with the maintenance crew. Is that something we do?
I mean,
Or is that a
as long as it's
liability?
safe, I don't have a problem with it.
I know when we used to let people do ride-alongs with the police, they just had to sign a form,
A waiver?
you know, yeah, whatever.
Find out, and I mean, good.
Yeah, I don't see why they couldn't.
Yeah, as long as it's his parents or something, whoever, you know.
Anything else?
I don't think they can run the equipment.
No. Why not? No comment.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second it.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?